everybody. This is Gabe Nedwick with my ethical analysis for week 4 of MPA 580, Legal and Ethical Issues for Dr. Powell's class. So just a quick note, I was racking my brain trying to think of a really great ethical dilemma, and I don't have like a big, like high profile public administration job yet, and I was trying to think of something where I could put myself into a certain situation, and I was just really drawing a blank. So the closest thing I thought of, which is an ethical dilemma, but I hope it gets up to the level that is expected for this discussion. So the main idea of the ethical dilemma is that obviously we're going to be put in between choosing wrong and right, or between two choices. So the facts of this dilemma, it's going to sound kind of funny and a little odd probably compared to some of the other ethical dilemmas that people have come up with. So at work at CBU, and don't let this make anybody think poorly of CBU or our jobs at CBU, but I got to work one night when I was working the graveyard shift, and one of the officers on campus was missing. Nobody knew where he was, knew what he was doing, and couldn't get a hold of him at all on phones or radios, anything like that. So of course our first thought is, oh no, this is an emergency, somebody's missing, we can't get a hold of him, and there's no way of knowing what's actually going on. But one of our duties to the university as a whole is to patrol the university, make sure everybody's safe, and patrol all campus properties, on campus and off campus, that sort of thing. So eventually we found the other officer, and he said, oh, I just forgot to tell everybody where I was going, but I already took care of this stuff. And he said that he had completed the job duties that he was supposed to, but we ended up looking at vehicle records and camera logs and that sort of thing, and none of that really lined up, and it really pointed more to the fact that this officer had found a nice quiet corner to take a little nap, and he continued to lie about it. He stuck by his idea that he had completed everything, he was in the right, and there's no way that he could have possibly fallen asleep instead of doing his job duties. So in my duty in this situation, since I was present in this, I witnessed it, I spoke to people who were there and confirmed that nobody knew where this officer was, what he was doing, and again, just knew the greater goal or what we were supposed to be accomplishing for the university. So my obligation is to the university and reporting to my supervisors, and my ultimate goal came down to telling the truth. I could have chosen at this point to cover for the other officer, tell him kind of what things were pointing to, how it looked, that sort of thing, and I could have said, hey, just tell the truth and you'll be fine, but we just kind of found out that this officer decided to continue kind of digging himself deeper into a hole. So an ethical analysis of this is the utilitarianism idea of the greatest good for the most people is, since our job is to report to the university, that's who employs us, we're doing the job that the university requires of us, and it doesn't do the university good or anybody around if we're not there to actually keep the university safe. We're not doing our job if we're not reporting properly what's going on. If we say we're doing something and we're not doing it, then we're lying, and we're basically just stealing from our employer and not being good stewards of what we've been entrusted with. Another idea is moral luck. Kind of, we on that shift, the same thing could happen to any of us. It's the middle of the night, it's quiet, it's dark. It could be very easy for any of us to have gotten in the same situation, but again, we would, along with the idea of virtue theory, we would want to do what's right. We would want to tell the truth, come clean, fess up, and that sort of thing. So again, these are some of the alternatives that I could have done. I could have, in my position, I could have pleaded either to the officer, I could have pleaded to the supervisor, letting him know, hey, do what's right, or to my supervisor, I could have pleaded, hey, just let it pass, it happened once, that sort of thing. I could have just said, I don't know enough about this. I could have just turned a blind eye to the situation, just let the whole thing pass, and decided, hey, it's not my business, I'm gonna stay out of it. So I'll leave the conclusion of what actually happened out of this discussion, but all of these ideas and theories kind of played a part in all of our roles as this went on. And again, it was, I don't know, it might be kind of more of a humorous story instead of a deep ethical thought. But again, it happened recently, and it does follow the basic ideas. So that is that. And here is my reference of our textbook. Thanks for listening. Sorry, it was a little out there. Have a good night.